one of my more obviously popular pieces. It was on a CD called Project 3056, and it's called Text Sex. You will not exchange bodily fluids in text sex, nor will you communicate a disease. There will be no talking in text sex, only texting, and your connection will be intermittent. You need fast fingers in text sex, but it doesn't matter what you look like, and you don't need to shave your legs. Yes, you can text sex from warm up to melt down, but you won't hear me whisper your name.
Zips. Zips are better than buttons when going to the toilet, but not when being undone by a member of the opposite sex. Slow sex is better than quick sex, except when quick sex is better. Any sex is better than no sex when you're 21. By the time you're 27, you're looking for a significant other. At 32, you realise one or other of you is not significant enough. You sulk for 5 years in a not very good job. Then you take your savings and open a cheese shop. You hire an assistant and bond over salt-washed Gloucester, when really you realise you need a makeover. The haircut doesn't work anymore. Sex now is 2 hours of personal histories and 10 minutes in bed. You're learning tolerance, which you want extended to yourself, though somehow it doesn't arrive. Though he brings you breakfast in bed with a silly rose between his teeth, which you want to slap, though you don't.
Sucked kernels beneath the apricot tree. Possum party. Dragonflies and leaves skitter over the pool. Heat hangs. Shadows of prayer flags trace the wind on the ground. Square dance. The ice cubes have given up fighting the heat, gone to water.
Here's another old one. This is really old. I had Hep C at the time. I got rid of it now, but anyway, this is called Songbird. Eating is my life, along with drinking coffee. I've been eating a pink jam donut for breakfast every second morning. The other mornings I make myself eat toast at home. I sit in this cafe almost every day and drink a mugacchino, which is how they make them in Blackburn. The woman who owns the place is very familiar. She's like an Italian version of my mother, except she doesn't interfere in my life. I keep telling her that I'm going to stop coming there soon, because I can't afford it. But then I'm there again the next day or the day after that. Sometimes when it's late, I go for a walk around the parklands, and when I'm done, I come back down Canterbury Road and buy a chocolate sundae at the all-night McDonald's, and I get them to put the fudge underneath as well as on top. Then I eat it as I leg it home. Then I watch Dave Letterman. Sometimes when the big brass and cheers on Letterman gets me excited, I'll have another coffee. I have Hep C, and last month I went and had an ultrasound on my liver, and the guy told me there was a layer of fat around it. He said, "What's your diet like?" And I said, "It's not the best." He suggested I consider replacing coffee with dandelion tea and double choc sundaes with apples. Alternatively, I might like to go on interferon. Interferon has a tendency to make one a tad distressed, he said, not to mention it makes your hair fall out. However, there was no hurry. A decision could wait a few years. Now there's a tune I can sing like a songbird. It can wait a few years. Thank you.
And moonlight sunshine, and two in the night time, and two by high ordeal, and who by common trial, who in your merry, merry month of May, and who by very slow decay, and who shall I say is calling? Who in her lonely slip, and who by barbiturate, who in these realms of love, and who by something blunt, who by avalanche, and who by powder, who for his greed, and who for his hunger, and who shall I say is calling? Who by fire sent, who by accident, who in solitude, and who in his mirror, and who by his lady's command, and who by his own hand, who in mortal chains, and who in power, and who shall I say is calling? Now my friends have all gone, my hair's gone grey. I ache in the places where I used to play, and I'm longing for love, but I'm not coming home. I'm just playing my dues in the Tower of Song. How lonely does it get? And Hank Williams hasn't answered yet, but I hear him coughing all night long. Craggy floors above me in the Tower of Song. Of this you can be sure. The crooks have got the channels in the bedrooms of the floor, and there's a present coming on, but I could be wrong. You know there's funny noises in the Tower of Song. Well, of this you can be sure that the red have got channels in the bedrooms of the floor, and there's a magic dust on, but I could be wrong. Well, you hear these funny noises right here in the Tower of Song. Well, I can hear you, baby, on the other side. I don't know how the river ever got to be this wide. I love you, baby, way back then. All the bridges that we burned that we could have lost. I feel so close to everything that I lost. We'll never have to lose it. Tomorrow, then I'll be gone. I'll be moving to a tower down the track, but you'll be hearing from me, baby, long after I've gone. You hear these funny noises like that in the Tower of Song. Well, I can hear you screaming on the other side. I don't know how the river ever got to be this wide. I love you, baby, way back then. Well, all the rivers that we crossed, that we had crossed, I feel so close to everything I've lost. We never have to lose it.
This is the stationary traveller. I am a traveller. I'm in a foreign land. Where I am is not important anymore. You see me in my strange clothes with strange objects in my hands, ignorant of your language and your customs and your law. I am a castaway, you see. I travel on a raft made of things I've found and now call mine. It's tied together loosely if forever tries to fly apart, and has borne my hopes and dreams across a frightening sea of time. It's made of bits of memories I brought with me from home, and lessons I have learned along the way, and things I loved or hated, and some insubstantial foam, beliefs that should have died before today. I hope you see me waving, and you take my message down, and I hope that you send one back to me. I'll say, this idiot's tale with its furious sound, it has its meaning in how you feel. You must feel or you die, though you still walk around and your arms wave about and your mouth makes a furious sound. And your message will be carried in the place I keep my heart, and I hope that you will do alike. The sea will keep on rolling, and we will just drift apart, and I will send you greetings till you'll sail right out of sight. Your memory and your message go with me, this is my pledge. My wish is that you do the same with mine. I promise to deliver it to whatever's past the edge when I sail off that cataract and off this awesome sea of time.
I read this poem to my ex-wife tonight before I came along. And she said it was a bit dense. I think she might have been suggesting that it shared a moment with its author. To make it a bit more accessible, it's the character is imagining a dungeon with a single occupant, and he's identifying, I guess, was originally called Dysmorphia, but I think I'm going to change it to Prisoner of the Shadows. The drip of a tap can be heard from the nearest corner. Daylight trips through a staircase of slats onto a twisted rectangle of the dirt floor. The shadows that frame it yield a soft sob that weakens to a whimper. Fresh feces form invisible glyphs on a thirsty mud wall, almost lit by the promise of the sun on the dirt. The monster tears at the remembered orange of its hair with 9 claws, driving the severed tenth between a lateral incisor and canine. The rectangle forms in its binocular glint as it tears the hair again, shrieks, and drives the rest of the claws into its tongue to keep them from the eyes that know that in the light it is beautiful.
Well, they say there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but it needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty and the moonlight overtook you. She tied you to her kitchen chair, broke your throne, cut your hair, and from your lips she drew a hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. There was a time that you let me know what's really going down below. But these days you don't really show it to me, do you? There was a time that I moved in you, the holy dove was moving too, and every breath we took was hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Baby, been here before. I went this far and I walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew you. I've seen your babe on our march. Love is not a funeral march. It's a cold and lonesome hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 there's a God above. All I've ever learned from love is not to shoot at somebody who outdrew you. And even if it's all went wrong, I stand below the Lord of Sons with nothing on my lips but hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
So I might finish up on a slightly serious one, which is about my friend who was locked up. And she had committed the crime of writing poetry and a whole lot of other things which got her in trouble. And this was in India. She was taken away, drugged, hospitalized, pathologized, and told she was mad. But 10 months' observation by the doctors found no madness. She had been scrutinized by a German couple intent on behavioral purity, who found her guilty of staying up late, writing incomprehensible poetry, fraternizing with sadhus, of sleeping in till 10, sitting in the street, talking to beggars, and her greatest crime, sitting at home alone, not talking to anyone. In the name of caring, they paid a servant to put psychiatric drugs in her food and had her carted away. In the name of helping, they forged her signature on a withdrawal slip and emptied her bank account. In the name of cleaning her room, they burned her clothes and possessions. In the name of therapy, my friend was obliged to talk all the time and watch TV. Seeking the name of God, she left Finland and has been living in India for 30 years, walking around the mountains, staying in temples and caves. In the name of observation, she was watched, made to talk, and asked to cry, but she could not cry. In the name of behaving like a normal person, she was prevented from writing. Her writing was a problem. She had been found staying up late, writing in the bathroom, keeping the light on, wasting electricity, acting alone, taking away her name. They called her by her second name and made her change her signature. Keeping alive her own name, her own voice, her own mind, her own life, her own ideas. She kept writing in secret, hiding her notebooks in her clothes. When I came to get her in the name of freedom, we packed 10 kilos of notebooks into the car. In the name of poetry, the freedom to write, the freedom to be. Thank you.